just thought I'd make a quick video. Hopefully it's quick. I was going to show everybody the weekly, possibly the daily TD sequential count. Starting with Bitcoin weekly. We're on a 6 count. Let's see, that's and it's showing a possible support down here at 17,619. So that would be my first guesstimation. It's holding this 25,524 for now. So if we lose that, it's most likely going down to this 17,000 zone, 17.5, 17.6. But let's see, get the big ones here. I'll go ahead and do Doge. It's on a 13. If that completes this 9 count, I would think maybe 1 or 2 more weeks. Could be a bottom. It's looking support right around this 0.049 zone. Let's see. I like this EGLD. Hadn't done much since July of. It's pretty much just been kind of flatlined since June of last year. So pretty much a whole year of just sideways, pretty much. But it's on a 7. It made a 13 count over here in April. Usually after your 13s, your 9 and your 13s, if you can get those close together, especially, you'll get some kind of bounce. But I know Tom DeMark has a preferred setup that's a 9, 13, and then another 9 count is what he likes. I'm using Larry Williams' Will Val. It's his value indicator, and usually when it gets over sold down here in the green, that's usually a decent time to buy. I've got it set up on against it weights the price action against gold. So I set it up for GLD. You can do it to the dollar or to bonds or gold. And since gold was having a decent year, I chose to measure everything against gold this year. I believe Larry mentioned that on one of his videos he did. It was either the one he did early in the year or the spring video he did on StockCharts.com's YouTube channel. Let's go to Ethereum. Let's see. It completed a 9 count. It wasn't a perfect setup because the 9 closed below your 6 and 7 bar, looks like, or at least it didn't make a higher high than your 6, 7, or 8, ideally. You can see these green zones. It's showing around $1.36 as support. It's holding this red zone also, $0.673 looks like. Oh no, that's 1600. That's Ethereum. Okay, so it's 1369 and 1144. Might as well say 1145. And then this red zone, it's a disqualified momentum up. That's 1673.44. It's a 1675, somewhere in there. Everything's oversold on a weekly, pretty much. Let's look at Floki just for the fun of it. It's only on a 3 count, coming down. It's all, showing this 764. Maybe this 1165. Excuse me. Let's see. We got FTM. It's on a 9 count. Completed a 13 over here. You had several 9s, 13. You can see after this 9, you got the rally last June. I believe that was June. Yeah, June 6th. 913 had a little bit of a rally, had a 13 good rally off of that. I mean, it doesn't always work, but it's about as good as I've found for any kind of a crystal ball or any kind of indication. I could also throw Larry Williams' cycle indicator on here. His cycle forecast is pretty decent. It works pretty good on a daily or weekly basis, but I don't know. I kind of like the here lately. Nearly everything's been following his seasonal. He's got a seasonal indicator also that tracks seasonal momentum or movement, price action. For the most part, probably going to be down action until about July 10th. The week of July 10th is what most of his seasonal stuff shows for crypto, which would make sense. A lot of times we do see a rally sometime around July 20th. Seems like might get it a little bit early. He's saying the stock market should rally also around July 20th, 25th. So I'd watch for that. But that's part of my plan. I'm planning on dollar cost averaging starting around, I may buy some around that June 26th, 27th, when Robinhood makes everybody sell their Solana, that handful of crypto that they're forcing everybody to sell on the 27th of June, I think it is. Let's look at FXS. There's a 13, but you're on an 8 count, so I'd wait for one more 9. A lot of times it will rally on the 13 bar. It'll go up, or price action will reverse a pretty high percentage of the time. I don't know exact percentage, but just what I've watched. This one doesn't have enough data for the seasonal, but let's go to the Gala. You got an 8 bar, completed a 13 in April. I'd say one more bar and you might get maybe one more week, and then the next week you should get a good rally, hopefully. No guarantee. GBTC, you got a nice price bar flip. A 1 bar going up this week, which was pretty good. Now you're still showing seasonally to go down till July 9th, so I might tread a little cautious on that. But the seasonality can be wrong. I mean, it's all due to price action. Let's look at GLD gold just for the fun of it. It's on I call it a -5 coming down. If your numbers are below your candlesticks, that's a down count. If they're above it, that's a positive count or price action going up. So it's actually a sell countdown going up and a buy countdown coming down. Let's see, let's go to GMX. On an 8 count, I'd look for support around 40.21. Not financial advice, but we're getting a pretty good rally on most everything. Started the last day or two. So I don't know. I mean, everything daily, for the most part, it's kind of setting up on a 9 count. It's coming off a 9, -9 is what I call it. Let's look at IMX. It's on a 9 count. -9, perfection. It's a buy setup perfection. You see your 9 bar close below your 7, 8, and 9, 6, 7, 8 bars. I really like to see that before I start looking for a reversal point. But this can go at least 1 to 4 bars. Now you might get a 1 to 4 bar retracement, rally. And I've heard Tom say this could go sideways for 12 bars. So that could be 12 weeks of sideways before it does anything. So there's still no guarantee that it's going to, rally just because we've got a 9 count. We do have a 9, 13, 9. I mean, that's a pretty good odds on that kind of setup, but we'll keep an eye on it. Like I say, you go to a daily, you see you're coming off a 913 right here. It's not a perfection 9 setup on IMX, but I want to say Bitcoin might have been. Let's see who. I know a lot of these like Atom and Aave, AVAX. Now everything coming off a 9. Let's see. There's Arweave coming off a 9. Arbitrum 9. Algo. There's another 9. You're already on day 4 coming up. You've got some resistance overhead. Cardano 9. Aave. It's on an 8 count. Maybe one more day. 1 inch. Hit the 9 sideways. Got a price bar flip on June 16th. And then today's bar number 2. I've seen a pretty high percentage of bar number 3 a lot of times will go down. Doesn't always work, but just keep an eye out for that. BNB, I'd stay away from it for now, but so you're not getting the bar retrace on BNB on day 3, but I mean it'll make a liar out of you. But so it's on a 13 count, but it's also on a 6 on the sequential. So I would look for 3 more weeks of downside. Probably may test this 1441 zone, or is that 144? 144.1. Okay. Let's see. Let me go on through these. Let's see. Let's go to Link. It's got a 913. Setting up. It's got a risk zone at 3.11. That's just magenta line. Disqualified risk buy. Loop ring, let's see, it's hit a 913. Perfection setup this week on it. I'd look for a rally possibly in the next week or 2 on it. Litecoin, it's only on a 2-week down. So I don't know. Seasonal, it's showing down till July 10th, like everything else. Mana, it's hit a 9. Never completed the 13. So you could definitely see 1 more week of down action on it. Matic, same thing, 913. Perfection setup. When you see this little triangle, that's the perfection buy setup coming off this 9 count. Let's see what else. Matic, you got Mover. It's on a good 913. Near, these are weekly setups, so these are a lot more reliable than your daily. Is what I've noticed, but it's on a 7 count, also on a 13. Let's see, near, where else we got? Let's look at Pepe just for the fun of it. It's on a -3. I probably wouldn't mess with Pepe. It could rally. I mean, it's due for a rally, but let's see. How about the Qs? How about NASDAQ? It's on a sell perfection setup plus, you got a continuation of 6 bars. So I mean, you could get 3 more weeks of upside on Nasdaq, but I know Larry is talking about seasonality. Usually, the stock market sells off starting around June 15th. He's thinking probably goes down to at least somewhere around July 20th, 25th. So I'd definitely watch for that. And this is a weekly setup on it. So the daily, I believe, it's on a 13 bar. Could go up four more days on the Nasdaq, but I think we're getting stretched pretty thin on stocks. Let's look at QRDO. It's on a +1. That's a price bar flip weekly. I can't zoom in on this thing. I don't know why. It takes forever to zoom in. Yeah, I mean, this could rally. I mean, it could come up to this 23-cent zone pretty easy. Let's look at Render. That's been a hot one. It hit this 9 and sold off on a weekly basis pretty hard. And you're just on a 1 bar down. So that could go down 9, at least eight more weeks after this one. Let's look at Ruin. It's on a 9/12, so you could definitely get 1 more week to get your 13. Sand had a 13 over here, but I guess it continued another sequential countdown. It's on a 2 and a 10, so it's not a perfect setup on sand. That could definitely go down longer. Look at Shiba. It's on a -9 perfection. Solana -2. That could definitely go down at least 1 more week to complete your 13 count. Seasonality, everything's showing that July 10th could be a possible short-term bottom. If you look at long-term seasonality, it shows to go up until October 30th. I mean, you come up till September 4th and you get a little dip down in here and then rally up till October 30th. And seasonality, historically, it should pull back. It says until March 4th. You get a little rally till March 25th and then down again. I just like it gives you some kind of crystal ball into the future. I mean, nothing's perfect. Nothing's going to work 100% of the time, but it's better than nothing. I mean, as far as guessing on your own. S&P 500, it's on a 5 going up. Seasonality, it's showing a rally till August. I don't know, maybe not. Soybeans looking really strong. I'm in a soybean position. This SOYB is a ETF that you can play futures with, or commodities on soybeans. The daily, it had a pretty decent week. Let's see, what did the week do? Went up 9.47% this week. Let's see, daily, yeah. It's coming off a 9, but it looks like it's doing this continuation. A lot of times you'll get a 13 count. So hopefully we'll get at least 2 9 counts out of this. We may get 1 to 4 bar pullback and then hopefully a continuation, but I'm going to try to hold it a little more long term, probably till around July. maybe July 1st or so. But let's see. Look at STG. Don't have a lot of information on it. It's on a +4, so it's already started to rally. But super, it's hit the 913, starting to rally. You don't have a price bar flip yet going up, but sushi, same thing, hit the 9. Looks like it's rallying off of this bottom day here, or bottom week. That's a daily. Let's go to weekly. Let's look back at super on weekly. Yeah, it's on a -6 on the weekly. So you can see. It does have support around this 0.0750. Might even hold this, that's about 9 cents, 0.0899. On super, see if we can get one on STG. It's on a -7. It's already losing this support here at 0.56. If you lose that, I don't know. You may test these zones over here, 45 cents and 37, 38 cents. And then your ultimate low probably over here, 33.71. If you lose that, then it's kind of in price discovery land. On STG, let's go back to super. You're on a -6. You got support at 0.0750, looks like. Let's see, super. Let's go to sushi. Weekly, you're on a -10. You've already done a 13.9. Here's a buy setup perfection completed there. I don't know why that moves that triangle over there, but anyway, if anybody knows, maybe put it in the comment why Sequential would move it over there. Let's look at Theta. Theta's on a 13.9 perfection. 2 13s. You don't see that very often. I dang sure keep an eye on Theta in the next week. Could definitely see a rally next week, but seasonality shows it's not going to. Let's go ahead and throw Williams' cycle on here, just for the fun of it. See what it says. See, the cycle, a lot of times it'll be a complete 180 of your seasonality, is what I've seen, but this one's not really doing that. It's showing possibly an uptrend coming up until July 10th, and then sideways, and then a rally till October 2nd. But I really like Williams' cycle. I wish I could say it works 100% of the time, but I've seen it not work probably more than I've seen it work. So I can't put a lot of faith in it. That's just me. I'd rather go off of this seasonality. At least this is based on historical, what it's done in the past. I think it works better. If you can get both of these going in the same direction, Larry says you have a higher probability of the trade working in that direction. But so I don't know. See, like this one's showing it going up, but if you go up here, this one's showing going down. So they're kind of arguing with each other. He said a lot of times when you see that, price action just goes sideways most of the time. So, and take that for whatever that's worth. Let's see, Theta. See this Tomo. I've been watching this Tomo here thing, or Tomo, or whatever the heck it's called. Weekly, you're on a continuation up, man. This thing's been pretty strong when everything else has been weak. Well, I'll give it that, and it's showing more strength coming up, starting next week. Looks like possibly. Historically, should go up till August 7th, but I guess I'll test this out a little more. I mean, like I say, it doesn't always work. You know, like right here, I mean, everything's flat, which, I mean, we're in a bear market, so, you know, everything's been pretty choppy. The rallies we have had, you know, are pretty much bear market bounces, in my opinion, but I know I watched Rick Benzinger, or Benzinger, however he says his name. He says throw an Ichimoku on a weekly basis. And now your price action is above on a weekly basis, which is good. It's holding above the cloud. That's really strong. But he says, look at your trailing line over here on Ichimoku. It's 26 bars back. And if this is not above your cloud, technically you're still in a bear market. So you can pull up here Bitcoin right quick. It's well below, and your price action's in the middle of the cloud, so that's kind of middle of the road. You know, it's still undecisive of if it's gonna take off or break back down. My guess is it's probably gonna break down and go down and test these probably 17,006 level. It could even test this 10,374. I mean, I hope it doesn't go to that, but at the same time, it'd be a pretty awesome buying opportunity. I think it's got a risk level of this 8,348 on a weekly Bitcoin risk zone. That'd be a really good bid price to throw in, I think. But you could do the same thing on Ethereum or any of these. But let's see. Let's come on down to let's see, where are we at? UOS Ultra. It's on a good 13 count, but it's on a 7. You might get 2 more weeks of down. Probably just depends on what Bitcoin does. Everything pretty much follows what Bitcoin does, or not everything, but the majority of these small coins. Here's a 913 perfection setup on VeChain or whatever. That's a pretty good setup. It's also showing an 8 though. I don't know. So that could be another 5 weeks down off of that. But usually you get this 913 that close together, you're going to have some kind of rally. XRP, it's on a 4 count up. It's in the middle of the cloud, but I would look for it to come test the top of the cloud, probably somewhere in that 60 cent zone first. Hopefully it could bust through that cloud, and I'd love to see it come up there in this dollar zone, but I still hold a little bit of it. XTZ, it's on a 9 perfection, but it's also got this continuation 9, so that could go to a 13 count, maybe 4 more weeks. Down, I kind of feel like Groundhog Day, maybe 4 more weeks of down. Let's go to ZIL. It's on a 7-13 count, or 8-13 count. I'd look for 1 more week of down on it. Now, sometimes your 9s will reverse. That one didn't. It went down another 6% on that 9. You can see your seasonality is showing down till July 10th, like everything else. Your cycle is... my dog's wanting to go out again for the 3rd time this morning. Let's see. it's showing could go up till July 3rd, but um, I don't know. I wouldn't put a lot of hope in that cycle forecast, but I really don't even like using it because I put too much faith in it. But now you can go to that if you use this Williams wheel valve, and I'm using symbolic.com for this. You can subscribe and get their Larry Williams indicators. Works really good on his commodities and futures indicator. See, it tells you when it's oversold, and I mean, high percentage of the time when this thing gets oversold, you see up here on your price action, you'll get a rally. I mean, you may be wrong for a week or two, but or maybe a few days, but especially if you come off of this 9 and you're oversold down here, man, that's money right there. But and that's against bonds. It's default by bonds. I like to set it up against gold. It's going to be the same thing pretty much, but see, I mean, you're definitely oversold coming off a 9 on nearly everything. I mean, you come to Bitcoin, I'm sure everything got beat up, with the SEC news. I mean, you had an oversold right here on June 14th. Probably a decent buy. You'd have made money off of it on a daily basis. We could, go into a 9 count rally. Probably test the bottom of the cloud, be my guess. First thing. So we'll keep an eye on it, see what happens, and I'll try to update maybe next week, see how all this plays out. We'll catch y'all later.